Ladies and gentlemen, overview and occasions. Of course, this is typically you can see the Equatorial. This area here is Equatorial Sudan, which is Juba, Sudan. And then this is South Sudan, and then this is North Sudan. Okay. So there are three regions here which are really for that purposes. And then the how we normally don't respect ourselves. This is a guy comment. So a guy comment, and then I commented this on a bad letter Sudanese Ugandan issued on a borderland issued. So crossing addition borderlands with the fake documents and scam or fraud is a penalty to the Dinka government of Sudan if wave movement of boosting in Sudan. So if you want, you go march, and then here, this is the Dinka guy. He tried to break it down, and then nothing to be understood here. That's what he asks. I should highlight this order more. Then the guy, he did not get it. I don't know. But if and then he went and commented another one. But even still, the so-called MPs of Uganda is still called these areas, which we described there on the map. South Sudan as Sudan, yeah. Same on you, and then of course they are saying if we don't respect this country here as a country, is the same on us. And then the other one says that is a crime, of course. Yeah, the guy which is supporting Sudan said that is a crime. And then we went. The guy ended up uploaded. This is rabbits. Okay, rabbits, and then calling our others for Sudan support, and the Sudan promo code is edition not legitimate. So you know, that is of course building heavy conflict, right? So that's why we try our best to push this line which they cut up to here. We try to narrow it there, and that's becomes South Sudan. And then here we have a peace of mind, which is Equatorial Sudan. Also we have and the combined effort as the Sudan, okay, our Sudan, the regular Sudan. So that is why we opened the borderline to Uganda, we opened the borderline to DRC, Central Africa, Kenya, and then Ethiopia, you name it. That is overview. 5 affected countries here, we opened them as a borderline, and we built our brotherhood, which is normal there back again, and as normal, you know. So overview, this is basically mortgages criteria for mortgages. That is the mortgage price, which are current very expensive, of course. You can see the mortgage wasn't that much there. If you look at the cost, and then this wasn't that much. That is basically mortgage, and is in Toronto, of course. That is Canada, mortgage lines. Of course, our areas of employees managements, and then our areas of employees managements, the applicants managements. Yeah, these are typically our applicants. And then we also have a question. Please tell me the total annual incomes of your households before anything is deducted for tax, social insurance, pensions is skimmed. And the question which they were asking there, you can see there, we try to put 100,000, listed the property address on his or her name, and then the ID cards. The property address must be on the ID card, the name must be on the ID card, the date of birth, if possible, should be also on the ID card. That is the provisions, right? So you can see there, that is the areas. And then what is your highest education level of completions, if you complete it. And then of course master, is it college, is it universities. And then overview, of course, that is based on the valid ID with the property address is a must. That's what we're saying. Google Properties Management, if it come to Google Properties Management. Otherwise, whatever you're going for educations, the education people normal also ask the same questions. That is a regards overview, you know. And then have you played any games on the following platforms in the past 3 months? Of course, yeah, mobile device, we have this area. And then the video, we have that. That is this bank office, of course, free. And then Furrow and Wind stores, of course, yeah, that is basically. So we do play those games on the computers. You normally buy a computer like this for your household. You buy the computers everywhere, worldwide. You buy a computer. That's your own game. You build it and then you make it. If you are able to afford the game to own it. So that is for your help in your households. And then that's why building your address, building your name beside them, that is also criteria to ensure you are capable of your managements and accountabilities, of course, yeah. And which of the following smart home technologies brand companies are providing, if you can describe? Of course, yeah, we have that is a report, friendly, free, no monthly bills, of course, for trillion years. Whatever trillion years they own, no monthly bills. Such as Google, such as Facebook, Amazon's, Samsung's, and then Apple. You buy those product they manufacture, of course, they have no monthly bills. And then you don't have to go and pay for even premiums. Premium is what they call monthly bills, right? So when do you plan to buy a smart displays, if at all? And then of course within 3 months, yeah, maybe someone may have, or within the 5 years someone may have. That is the demands and unlimited and limited. So because demands for the marketing is unlimited and limited. So that is how much do you know about each of the following brands if it comes to Facebook, Amazon's, Microsoft, YouTube, Google's. Of course, they are all free, where you make your own ideas, where you can build your own ideas, such as you build your profiles. If for examples, we go here to this one, to Facebook's. This is a Facebook's. I open Facebooks like this because I build my own ideas, right? I have my everything's there. I built like this, and then so that I communicate with my friends, and then I talk to my friends and other family members, right? So that is the Facebooks. So we normally go to Facebooks, and then we see which is which and which is which. So that is the priorities for Facebooks, you know. So basically on Facebooks, that is if you deal with the Facebooks, of course Facebook is free. You go to YouTube is of course free. YouTube, where you watch comedy, you go, you do anything where you upload your comedies, you watch news and other things. Also is a mandatory platform for every individual things. So if that is the priorities, of course, yeah, is there for free, of course, yeah. And then we say it, how well are those brands, of course, yeah. We have provided, yeah, extremely well with those. And then we also went overall, how much do you trust Facebooks? So completely free to all users and cheap to control, you know. It's very cheap to control because Facebook is very cheap, YouTube is very cheap and easy to control because they make it, you know, mandatorily. So Microsoft is very cheap and equal to all the users worldwide. Microsoft, you know, is mandatorily the computer systems. Yeah, this is Microsoft. If you have a computer, we talk with the computers. This is the Microsoft. Okay. The areas here. This is the PowerPoint here. This area here is all Microsoft built, right? Is the capability of the Microsoft. So if it's a Microsoft base, the areas here is Microsoft based. Whatever the paper, that could be the papers, right? And how who develop and who designs, that is where, because they overall trust, because every individuals all the users build their website worldwide. So that is why they build it from scratch free, to wherever they have the comfort. Of course, YouTube, yes, very free and cheap, of course, and equal to users worldwide. Of course, that's mandatory. And then if you look also there, that is another question. And then the question which dealt mostly a lot more positive. Of course, you may have a lot more positive when it comes to brands decisions. So people have a lot of decisions on those brands. Of course, this is Google. Of course, Google free, most cheap. Of course, what we know not cheap is this one, the premium. This is YouTube premium, is not cheap. Facebook premium is not cheap. Also, social media premium is not cheap. That is the monthly bills which the people normally pay is not cheap, and that's why we say no to that kind of premium orders. Of course, we want what we want. Related orders which is more friendly, because this is like a vote. It is like we are voting and supporting our leaders, country leaders, to who stand for the what for the communities, and then that's why is our support and is our vote for those individuals. So these are the individuals, you know. These are the right individuals. They are the Google Calendar, such as Google Drive, such as Google Shopping, such as Google Play, such as Google Translate, Google Search Engine, Google Chrome browsers, and then Google Map, and then Google Photos, Google Assistant, Google Meets, and then Google Lens, and you name it. So on overview, Google News, and then Google Chromebooks, and then YouTube. We have YouTube Kids, Fitbits, and then Gmails, Google Wi-Fi, and then YouTube Musics, and then Google Document Sheets and Slides and Documents, Android and Google Play, Google of course Chromecast, and then Google Pixels, or cameras, you name it, and you name it, and you name it. Of course, yes, that is of course. They are related others, of course, because they build it for mostly for free. And if you look there, that is me, myself, and me, what I do for a living. So basically, and that is what we are building. That is our company, our logos, of course, and then yeah, that is our company logos, and then what we are really doing, and then those are our brands. Individual branches we have, of course, that is to do with the individual branches, and then of course our videos, our uploads, YouTube videos which we built there, and then our MasterCard, our Visa, our branch Visa MasterCard, and then yeah, that is just a scratch of our work and what we do normally for a living. So otherwise, that is just a quick scan, of course, with me, Wayne Hassan, this is concerned to this one, to when it comes to this one, income. When they ask for incomes, and then when they ask for this one, for our opinion from home. So this is basically how to travel. In mostly in Canada, and then mostly worldwide, and then people normally they are looking for opinions, and then for such kind of product to use to produce this kind of product. Of course, our companies, major companies, these opinions areas. Of course, if I say this is my income is statements I printed there, which is coming from ODSB or from governments, and then that is my arrears, which I'm earning per year. And then of course to use those kind of currencies, they are looking all for opinions. That's why the opinions we scanned there, the questionnaires, they're all related to the kind of paperwork we are having. This is Canada, this is USA, this is Nigeria, this is Kenya, this is Uganda, Sudan, Rwanda, Europe, UK, Germany, Asia, wherever you name it, across the worldwide. So there are all kind of opinions, different kind of opinions, of course, computer-related tasks, and then mortgages. That is mortgages-based task. Of course, there are different kind of opinions. Employment related, of course, that is employment related, and you name it and you name it, because they are overview because of the opinions, people opinions, and then what people are normally doing for a living. They are all overview. Of course, they want people to know, because if we talk of these brands, because also to manufacture this kind of a brand, the HB number 2, this is used anywhere worldwide you go, wherever the brand is, of course, known, people know, and is promoted by individuals for those companies to look for opinions, and then the users, the right users, otherwise they may get crazy. They may say, yeah, make this kind of order premium. Why shall we vote this order to go premium? The order is not premium. So we know this order is free. Every store selling worldwide, they normally buy in abundantly, and then they bring it to store, they storage it, and then they try to sell it to people. This one is 100 of pencil like this, 100 sub pencils for $1, sometimes for $2. It depends from the countries where you live. Sometimes for 4 cents, Canadian cents, and that is roughly this one roughly 300 Ugandan shillings, or this one, or 4 shillings Kenya. So that's the dependabilities, because that's how the opinions we are providing, because we know some companies, the bill companies, Canadians bill companies, they are very crazy and dumb, because they are the one causing even these kind of premium orders against those kind of the surveys, which you can see there, they provide surveys. If you blindly check this one, you click a premium yes, and then you are done. You may find you killed the stores. All the stores order will change. The price will go up. Why? Because you cause a problem there. You add money to be paid out. Why shall a store begin paying money to another owner? Why the owner be paying another owner? Is a fake, and is corruption. So that's why we normally we are oriented to at least to introduce what is available, and then what is required, and what is on reputations. On overview and skill on scratch, that is Miss Whitehouse, and that is it on with these ideas.